and tools is brought to you by EXO Auto Works. EXO Auto Works is Colorado Springs' home of the $40 synthetic blend oil change. Call now, 719-375-3232, or visit exoautoworks.com to make your appointment. Enharmonic Studios. Enharmonic Studios is a hybrid digital analog facility designed to be quality and affordable to anyone who wants to make history. Call today, 719-963-2020, or go to facebook.com/Enharmonic Studios. Trevor's Beard is brought to you by The Beard Struggle. The Beard Struggle is my go-to for beard hygiene and styling products, so you should click the link below and use the code TLANE15, that's TLANE15, for 15% off your order. The Tool Bar, our new line of handmade soap produced in partnership with Crafts by Carolyn Lane, available on Etsy. This soap packs a punch of manly scent, like oak and fig, fresh cut lumber, cedar, and more masculine fragrances being developed all the time. With a soft touch of natural oils to cleanse and moisturize, use the link below to buy the Tool Bar now. Once you try it, you'll never want to wash with anything else.
I'm not going to assume your gender. It's ugly. I can imagine the ugly things that go through your mind and the thoughts. I wouldn't want to live in your head for 1 minute. Very ugly. Do you go to work like that? Chad, how insensitive of you to think that I work.
From EXO Auto Works. Streaming all over the world. It's your weekly dose of toxic masculinity. With Eric Madrid.
Because if too many people are just running around with their dicks out, it's called the Harambe variant.
I'm Trevor Lane.
No. Of Karen's.
It's Man Tools.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, everyone. I'm just texting our biggest fan, our most avid listener, making sure she's still alive. Keys got whacked by a truck on her motorcycle this week. So she's doing good. She's transferring to rehab. Sorry.
No problem.
It's a real podcast. She's doing well. She's doing good. She made sure to make both of those,
Well and good?
Yeah.
Okay. Good and well?
Yeah. So right. She's doing good with her progress and whatever. Also doing well. But, luckily there was one of the top surgeons in the area and got a 4-hour surgery in an hour and a half. Something right. And is actually starting rehab. Wow. So already making it out to the hallway with her little, I'm imagining this, the little IV drip and your butt flapping in the wind because those gowns are just,
they suck.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel so bad.
I'm glad it wasn't worse.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like it could have been, for sure.
It could have been a lot worse. But that's the thing. People don't watch for motorcycles. They just never do. So they're out there.
They are.
They are.
I once nearly clipped this dude. I felt so bad. I was turning left and I don't know what I was thinking. I thought I was in the left turn lane, I guess, but I was in the right one. So I tried to make the
right
extreme left.
Yeah.
And he was over here.
Yeah.
Hey, yelling at me. I'm like, sorry. That could have been bad too, but luckily it was okay. Other than me feeling like a fucking idiot and him letting me know that I was a fucking idiot.
The biggest thing that happens is people look this way, and they look this way, then they don't look back.
Right.
And then they go that way.
There's time where someone could have come up. Yeah.
Then they go that way. They make that left, and they don't look. And that's exactly what sounds like happened. It's statistically the most. It happens all the time.
My dad got hit by a car when he was on a motorcycle and caught his legs, one of his legs. And that leg still looks like it belongs on a chicken. It's been like kind of withered and atrophied ever since.
Well, Keys, we're all pulling for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll come do a podcast from your recovery room. That'd be hilarious.
A hospital podcast?
Yeah. How to shit in a bedpan. The inquiring minds want to know.
Well,
speaking of shit that Trevor's into.
Do you want to look at this?
Yeah. So my fat ass. Wait. Before you show it, you showed it to me, and my fat ass thought it was a couple of cobs of corn and some I don't know, kebabs in a open. You know how you get the Chinese food and you open it up as a plate? Yeah, that's what it looks like. So tell me if I'm wrong.
Well, that's not what it is, but I suppose it could look like that. Those are our baby rats.
Jesus.
Yeah, and that's not even all of them. I don't know if. So here's the story. Anyone that listens to the show knows that Carolyn and I have rats. I'm sure we've talked about it.
Willingly,
yes,
yeah,
on
you
purpose.
Purchased them
on purpose.
Not
we have
just
rats.
Not just because your kids' rooms are trashed.
And we love them. So, for those that don't know, rats are super social, and we had to put one to sleep a while back, and then another one died unexpectedly, which left us with a rat that's by itself, which is not good. They don't do well when that happens. So, we went and found some new cage mates, and we're quarantining them because there's a whole process. You got to quarantine them for a little bit to make sure they're not sick, and then you kind of slowly introduce them, let them play together a little bit, make sure they get along, and then you bring them into the same cage. Well, one of these little gals, because we already have females, so that's what we, because we didn't want to do this.
Got what you paid for.
Got one of these gals, and woke up in the morning one morning, and she had rearranged the whole cage.
Yeah,
because she needed a nest, and there they were, 6 of them, and somehow yesterday suddenly there's 3 more. So I don't know if they can give birth in 2 little sessions.
Apparently.
Or if we just missed 3, the first count.
Just have to take off your shoes. One and another one and another one.
I don't know. But so we have babies.
It looks like a Shami kebab delight with corn on the cob.
I say, and Caroline gets upset every time I say this, it looks like a bunch of scrotums with legs.
Chirping.
Yes.
What's up, Keys? I'm glad you joined us. 8 fractures total. Oh, yeah, I know.
Well, get better. So yeah, rats. So if anybody in Colorado Springs,
so this has been a sales pitch the whole time.
Area is looking for a relatively low maintenance pet. They're not terribly hard to take care of. It's a good kids learning experience. We have them. We have 2 conditions. They have to go in pairs because, like I said, they don't do well if they're by themselves. Unless you already have rats, I guess maybe we could talk about that. And they cannot be snake food. So,
but wait, there's more. Tell them what they get, Trevor.
That's it.
Act now.
That is definitely it.
It's a one-time offer. Act now. Valid only in Colorado.
Yeah, we're not shipping these. So
Yeah, that was Jesus.
A short drive is about what we're willing to do.
Yeah, meet me at the truck stop.
And they got to be at least 4 weeks old. So you're looking at another 3 weeks before we could work that out. But they're there.
Cute. Gross.
Also, I learned, because I wasn't sure, animals that give birth to litters, it's a placenta for each. I wasn't sure if it was like one mega placenta and a bunch of umbilicals.
Right.
But no, there were like a bunch of placentas, and of course she started eating them as soon as...
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they do. And I'm sure it's full of nutrition and stuff.
Jam-packed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Waste not, want not.
That's right.
Up next on Wild Kingdom. Jeez. Mutual of Omaha.
Now Jim's going to wrestle a bear.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to talk about it from the comfort of the studio.
That's so funny.
Wasn't that guy's name?
Yeah. Jim.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I forget the old guy.
Nobody remembers the old guy's name.
Was it Marlon
Perkins?
There you go.
I said nobody.
That was back when you had 3 channels.
Yep, the president was on. You were fucked.
Yeah. Nope.
You couldn't watch anything.
Fox didn't exist yet.
No.
Remember when Fox came out?
Yeah.
It was like...
We used to have to...
They're like almost a dirty channel with The Simpsons.
The Simpsons.
And Married with Children and Cops.
That was the best. There was a lot of cops. That was a lot of cops. This old... Yeah.
They had like 3 shows, and they just go whoop.
We used to have to get the aluminum foil and string it up the wall.
Well, that was another thing. You remember when you had to flip your TV between UHF and VHF?
Yeah, sure do.
Some channels weren't UHF channels.
You know why I remember all this? Because I was the remote.
Old.
I was the remote control.
Yeah. It was good.
Yeah. My mom's boyfriend didn't want to get off his ass. Hey, go change the channel. Okay. Childhood trauma manifesting itself as a podcast.
That's what most of them are. I think, yeah. Guys, we fucked. Have you ever heard of that one? It's a bunch of girls.
Really?
Talking about guys they fucked.
That's a podcast?
That's a podcast. It's called Guys We Fucked.
I want to find that book that I saw this dude who was giving an interview about his hitchhiking thing for the last like 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
He's just been hitchhiking around, and he's like, people will tell you everything. It's
a bizarre. In a car with people. I'm sure they do.
He's like he was. I saw the trailer basically, right, for his little sales pitch for his book.
Well, number one, the type of people that will pick up a hitchhiker, I think, are the type of people that will overshare.
Yeah, he expounded on it by saying people will, for the first hour, it's all news, sports, weather.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, the last 5 minutes, the last 10 minutes right before I get out, they just dump. They're like, I'm never going to see this person again. So they just admit everything.
Right, yeah.
He's like, I fucked my sister. I murdered this guy one time.
Yeah.
He's like, what?
When I was 10, I killed this kid. And
yeah, there's that kind of stuff.
They looked for him for weeks and never found him.
Never found him. I want to read that book. I want to read that book so bad. So badly. I want to read that book. So we'll try and get him on the podcast.
Okay.
His world famous travels. Because something bizarrely similar happens when you're the handyman.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, when you're the maid, when you're the gardener, you know what I mean? When you're the handyman, I started thinking about all this stuff that people just dated dumping stories on me, and I thought I should seriously write all these down.
Yeah, someone who people feel is in a position to listen but not talk.
Uh-huh.
You know,
it's like, well,
the garter's not going to tell my wife the the guy talk.
Yeah, there's definitely
and vice versa.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. It's so bizarre. I find people, I guess they just feel more comfortable when I have to change the names to protect the guilty. But I really want I want to write this little memoir thing. I think it'd be fun. You know, that free time I have.
Both hours of it?
Both. I look like this guy every time I get home.
Well, should we get into the news and talk about this guy?
Let's do that. Good seg. I hate my job.
All right. For those that haven't heard,
yeah, I missed this whole. I was like 3 weeks behind on the "Let's Go Brandon" thing. I didn't know what the hell it was. I was like, "What is this?" So I'm kind of behind on this. What did our commander and
well, he's unveiling a new program. This is what disturbs me. Is it has he mentioned when they rolled it out racial equity, and then part of it is getting fresh, clean crack pipes to addicts. They're doing like kind of the whole needle exchange. That's also in there, but it's extra weird and humorous because his son's a crack addict. He was behind the laws that said, oh no, crack is way different than cocaine. It needs stiffer penalties. Which, of course, everybody looks at as
some weird kind of nepotism.
Mostly black people using crack makes it, at least the appearance of some kind of racial bias in the law.
Sure.
Well, then Snopes said that's mostly false because it doesn't just cover that. And it's like, well, that doesn't make it mostly false.
Mostly.
So there's a provision. They call it a reduction of harm. And it listed safe smoking kits as an example. I guess what they mean by safe smoking kits is these are glass pipes that would include rubber mouthpieces to prevent burns and screens to prevent inhaling debris.
Somewhere, Ace Hardware is pretty pissed off that you're going to dip into their bottom line. Because, they sell those screens at Ace Hardware.
Yep.
It's not what we use them for when in the trades. But
and then the whole Snopes like, well, this is mostly false. Because it covered a whole bunch of drug safety stuff.
What percentage is mostly?
I don't know, but I mean,
51.
It is in there that they are going to distribute crack pipes free of charge. They're safe smoking kits, as they like to call them. Because you can smoke whatever you want out of them.
Let's be real.
Coke, meth, whatever you want.
Wow. Well, just decriminalize. Look, I've said this before. Just decriminalize it all.
Well, that's the interesting thing because crack is still illegal. I don't know about federal, but I don't know most states have laws against paraphernalia.
Depending on even down to the county.
So you get caught with, even if it's your federal government distributed crack pipe, I'm pretty sure that your local sheriff is still going to treat that as a crack pipe.
Yeah.
So
I think the government's just
that's the other argument, is that this could lead to actually more
this is a problem.
Arrests and people spending time in prison for drugs.
Let's be real. That's probably what it's about.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Snap them up. Well, man, it's free. Like, I got this from Uncle Sam. I should be able to do it. Nope. Guess what?
Well, you run into that a little bit with the whole marijuana thing.
It's just going the other way.
Once in a while. I mean, you get caught by the feds and they're like, we don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I got a card. We don't care.
Yeah. My favorite still is well, I got a card. Well, you're still not supposed to be, smoking and driving.
Yeah, of course.
That's a card for you to, imbibe in your own home. Not operate machinery.
Exactly.
It's not it's a. I had some fancy words, but not today. I'm burnt. I'm fried. Can we just look at Loose Lips McGee over here and see what she's up to?
So, Angelina Jolie was speaking before, I don't know if it was Congress, something like that. They're trying to bring back, there's this thing called the Violence Against Women Act that under the Republican legislature or Republican majority legislature, they got rid of it because I think we talked about it a little bit when Hannah from Honey Badger Radio was on. All the stuff that it covers is already illegal, and it's really just to fund kind of fund a bunch of feminist nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Angelina Jolie is out there because this is going to, of course, result in just women being killed in the streets from her point of view. Anyways, we'll listen to about the last half of her deal here, I guess.
And brown skin, and they failed to check properly for signs of injury. I am in awe of the parents who, after the murder of their children, have fought to change the law to protect the next child. And most of all, I want to acknowledge.
Now keep in mind, she's a professional actress and can do this on cue.
Acknowledge the children who are terrified and suffering at this moment, and the many people for whom this legislation comes too late. The women who have suffered through this system with little or no support, who still carry the pain and trauma of their abuse. The young adults who have survived abuse and emerged stronger, not because of the child protective system, but despite it. And the women and children.
There's a valid argument on that one.
Who could have been
I'm living proof.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, we don't care about you.
We don't care about you. So this is the legislation that makes things that are already illegal.
Yes, but then says, let's spend some money on stuff that's not actually going to solve any of these problems as well.
Gotcha. That doesn't sound like our government at all.
Yeah. And, you dress it up with a name like the Violence Against Women Act. Of course, everybody's like, well, if you vote against that,
you're a dick.
You want violence against women, obviously.
No, I'd like the funds appropriated to the right places, like CASA, or places that actually work outside of the legal system that are there for women who are battered that have a place to go. When shit goes sideways, they got a place they can go, stay with their kids for a few nights, and let shit calm down until the cops actually show up, because we know they don't show up right away. So maybe fund those places instead.
Yeah.
That would... Let's throw a bunch of money at the admins in the office and, pushing papers around in a fancy office versus get it down into the trenches where it needs to be.
Right.
Let's do that, shall we?
Well, and I mean, it's like the Patriot Act. What, you're not a patriot?
I had to explain what King George II did with that on the whole money stuff. You can't like if you get it, like, I mean, I was getting checks for $20,000-$40,000 from clients.
Oh yeah, with the Patriot Act.
Yeah, with the Patriot Act, you can't have access to those funds for weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So
because they got to make sure it's not going to terrorizers.
I mean, it's going to.
It's part of our strategy to stop them.
It's just part of our strategy. Part of our strategy to stop them. we don't want to go into brown people. I'm like, well, it's going to brown people, just not those kind of brown people.
Well, speaking of brown people,
hey, man,
our next story. So, do you guys remember when Arnold Schwarzenegger had a kid with his maid?
Yep.
Well, this is that kid, Joseph Baena.
God, I'm old.
Looks a lot like his dad, except a little browner.
This picture doesn't do it justice, because
No,
the other
they're-
picture, there, you're like, damn, dude, you're the Mexican Hercules from Hercules in New York. Like, he's basically his dad, except quite a bit more handsome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Latin Arnold.
Yep.
But he was recently interviewed and talked about why he doesn't use his dad's last name. And
Trying to get you want to build your own.
yeah, that's what it boils down to. He it's kind of the Nicolas Cage is a good example. Do you know what his real last name is?
He's part of the Coppola family.
Yeah. He didn't want to trade on the name.
Yeah,
He wanted to trade on his talent.
Yeah, that's why we're still stuck in this thing, because I
That's
haven't
how-
used my uncle's last name. That side of the family.
That's how we get, face off.
Face off.
So, yeah, I guess he's getting into acting, and he doesn't believe in just having things handed out. So, at least professionally, I don't know about legally, but at least professionally, he does not use the last name Schwarzenegger, because obviously everyone would know who his pops was. The other thing too is, I don't know, obviously public and private are two different things, but I don't know when this kid knew that Arnold was his dad, because that was obviously being kept very quiet for a number of years, at least publicly. I don't know about privately. So
No, I'll give it to him.
but I can respect the
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna make it as
I'm
me and
not getting
Arnold's
free.
son.
I'm not getting free meals at restaurants because, all that garbage.
Yeah,
Yeah, good on him.
yeah.
I mean, at some point he's gonna be like, "Look, I really need this deal to go down. I'm gonna call my dad. He's gonna terminate you." Nah, good for him.
Oh, this cracked me up. Although
God,
I will
is this
say
the California Bart thing.
Mhm.
Oh, these fucking guys.
So this is in San Francisco, if I'm not mistaken.
From San Jose all the way up to San Francisco.
Right, but I think this particular spot is in San Francisco, and this is a rail system that goes around the bay.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a press conference because they're opening a restroom.
What?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3. We all will be speaking with our masks on this morning, so I'm hoping you're getting a good read from this.
You got a woo girl?
I guess.
Get on with it, Bart.
I think we have a minute. I've had at a Bart press event, so we really thank you all for being here. As we ask our riders to return, it's important that we address basic needs and that our riders feel safe and welcome. Reopening restrooms at our downtown stations is one of the most frequent things that I'm asked. And I have to point out that I came here today.
He's not wrong.
All the station
Okay,
agents.
so I'm going to stop it here because I went, are you fucking serious? You did all this hoopla over opening a
Toilet.
toilet? They haven't had public restrooms on the BART since 9/11 because of security.
Yeah.
I found that out, and then I'm like, okay, this is a bigger deal than
Yeah.
I thought it was. Like, are you guys, you're going to jerk each other off because you built a restroom?
Right.
But this is why it's a big deal. And I'm like, okay, I'll give you a little more credit. It's the first public restroom in a BART station that's been open in 20 years. But all of that sounds bananas. For security.
Well, yeah, everything's for safety.
And they didn't just like close them up. I guess they tore out
No,
all the fixtures and
demolished them. They closed them off.
Yeah.
So the minute you step off a BART, like say in Oakland, the wafting of urine from where the car park is.
Oh, because San Francisco, everyone shits in the streets
anyways.
anyways.
And pisses in the streets. But yeah, getting off at Oakland, just it wafted at you like, whoa, it hit you like a wall. Just urine.
Well, if it's anything like the New York subway system, I would station a cop in the restrooms 24/7 because those just get used for drugs and fucking.
There's piracy and
never mind. They'll do the drugs and fuck each other in public down in the subway in New York. Yeah.
Hey, not when I lived there, but
I saw a while back a video of a blowjob between two fellas that I'm positive was just a business deal because neither one of them seemed to be enjoying it. It smacked of, you owe me money, now suck this. I was like, God damn.
Brutals.
But it was right on the platform. Just
okay. Moving on with our news.
Well, this could go either way. We'll keep it in the news. I'm not sure if it meets the criteria of cool stuff. I thought it was mildly amusing.
Okay, what is this we have going on?
So this is a compilation of words, and more accurately, a survey about words, based on sex. And so on the left side, you see words that are very commonly known by men, and on the right side, you see words that are much more commonly known by women. And the opposite seems to be true.
Huh.
So, like you see howitzer, 84% of males know what a howitzer is. Only 53% of females. A thermistor, 48% of males know what that is. Only 17% of females. An azimuth, 58% of males. Only 27%. And then if you look on the other side, a peplum, I don't know what the fuck that is. Only 13% of males know what that is, whereas 64% of females know what that is. A tully? Tulle?
Tulle.
Only 27% of men know what that is, whereas 77% of females know what that is. A chignon? Chinon? I don't know. 24% of men know what that is, whereas 72% of women know what that is. I just found that interesting.
Huh. You know what? Yeah.
Words that, like, when men see it, they're like, oh, yeah, I know exactly what that is.
A whip stitch. A whip stitch. Say whip. Whip. Say stitch. Stitch.
We're wheaten.
Say whip stitch. Whip stitch.
So, I thought this was at least mildly amusing. I'm not sure if it's quite cool.
Well, what is a peplum? I want to know. Inquiring minds.
No idea.
Keys, if you're watching, what's a peplum?
It's probably a part on a vagina. one of those parts that we have trouble finding.
A short, flared, gathered, or pleated strip of fabric attached at the waist of a woman's jacket, dress, or blouse to create a hanging frill or flounce.
What's a flounce?
Looks like that.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. I had no idea that had a name.
I thought it was
I would have called it the bottom frills or something.
The flounce.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Sure.
Yeah, the flounce. It makes more sense. It's not a blouse. It's not a flirt. It's not a skirt. It's got flair, so it's a flounce.
Okay.
But it's a peplum. Peplum dress.
All right.
The more you know.
Yeah.
Oh, this is who wears peplum dresses. Hold on. Damn it. That did not help me.
Okay. Oh.
It was a lot funny, that one.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, as seen on The View.
Yep. Oh,
there it is.
Key says she had no idea what that was.
Yeah, well, it's
A peplum.
I don't see Keys pepluming, with on the motorcycle. Not that you can see that, but
Yep. Well, let's pay some bills and then come back with some sports. We have sports this week.
we have sports and a peplum.
And a peplum. So don't go away.
Don't go
We'll
away.
be back in 2 and 2.
2 and 2 with your peplum.
So on my way over here, my brakes made an awful noise. And the last time I got them done, it was
As
so
seen on The View.
expensive.
You should go to EXO Auto Works. They did a great
The
job
Harambe
online, and
variant.
it was way cheaper than anywhere else I've been.
That sounds great. I need to get their number from you.
At EXO Auto Works, we offer the best price on brake service in town. We include brand new brake pads, rotors, and hardware, which saves you money and gets you on the road faster. See our website for a full list of our services. Call EXO Auto Works today.
Stop destroying your beard. Let me explain. A little while back, I thought I was properly taking care of my beard. Turns out, I was destroying it. Dry, brittle, hair falling out. My girlfriend hated it.
He was worse than a dog without the cute puppy breath.
So then, she ordered the Beard Struggle. Game changer. Natural ingredients, awesome packaging, and it smells phenomenal.
You smell sexy.
Thank you. Oils, balms, they have beard growth accelerators in addition to the new Carbon X 3-in-1 heated beard brush straightener and volumizer, along with washes and conditioners. Stop destroying your beard. Order the Beard Struggle.
I have something you can destroy.
Order online now from thebeardstruggle.com.
Use the code TLANE15 for 15% off your order.
All right.
Good job, Trevor.
If you didn't know, the Winter Olympics are upon us. And they're being held in Beijing. And I don't know if you knew this.
But the Russian figure skater tested hot.
No, I'm not even going to get into that. I don't know if you know, but the Chinese are not to be trusted. So there's a bunch of shenanigans going on. The first thing I'm going to show you comes from the speed skating. Check this out. So the dude that's behind is from the Chinese team, and he just shoves this guy out of his way.
Yep.
And then the guy that fell got disqualified because you'll see his leg gets caught up in the other guy's. And the judges were like, that's the only part we saw was you tripped him with your leg. So the guy that got pushed down got disqualified.
Disqualified, of course.
There's also some drama there because he's half Chinese, half Hungarian, and is skating for the Hungarian team.
So they're like...
So there's kind of a fuck you.
There's a whole fuck you happening.
Yeah.
Never.
The other fun thing that's happening over there is the conditions for living and eating for the athletes are, well,
is it
some Olympic athletes right now just say they can't
thing
take it anymore?
No, well, you'll see.
And this is after being stuck in quarantine hotels while at the 2022
so that's number
Winter
one.
Olympics.
They get there and they got to spend whatever that's because the science keeps changing. I don't know if it's 5, 10, or 15 days in quarantine.
Olympics. Take a look at this photo. This is from one Russian athlete.
That is an example of the meal that they're getting. Now, this is for a
performing
athlete.
Yeah. Is that raw chicken?
If you were to eat that 3 times a day, I'm not sure you'd get 2,000 calories.
I'm not sure you'd get off the toilet.
Well, that too. But
I've had school lunches that were. We've had staff lunches at scout camp that were better than
yes, we have, definitely.
Tweeting, saying she called this an inedible meal, and it looks like it. It is edible, though. I just thought I'd put that out there. But she says she's lost so much weight eating that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 5 days in that isolation period. The athletes say the quarantine conditions are just unreasonable.
All right. Well, the other thing that I've heard about is I guess they don't have much in the way of training facilities. So, like, I guess there were athletes that were like trying to do laps around their beds.
Yeah.
To get ready. Like, there's a warm-up process that's not just and the accusation is that the Chinese athletes have access to these things.
Oh yeah.
Another thing that I didn't have a video on it or anything is because of course they get an app on their phone for, it's like your Backstage Pass. Here's how you get into all the things that are restricted to only athletes. And of course it's full of spyware. Like someone kind of hacked it and
sure
was like, oh, this is giving the Chinese government everything that's on your phone. And there's no choice about having it. Like, you don't get in.
You don't get in.
There is no paper option, or it's show your phone with the barcode. And finally, I just wanted to show the ski jump. Not so much for the ski jump, but
I love
this is where they decided to put it. Is, I guess this is an abandoned steel factory.
Sure.
With I guess its own nuclear power plant, because I'm pretty sure those stacks are only used for that. I don't know for sure, but
I saw it on The Simpsons.
31 athletes seeking one of 12 places
so,
in the final. The first 5 athletes.
That's pretty
are
funny.
the
I'm
top
gonna stop
5.
that because NBC will get all over us. But I just wanted to that's, and this is what I find interesting. That's one of the spots that China went, we should show this off. Which, so I don't know if it's like rubbing in our face that we don't do nuclear power.
I'm sure.
That we're like pussies about safety.
Yep. What did Elon Musk say the other day? He said we could power, what did he say, 250 some 25,000 blah blah blah. He said some stupid ass square footage, and we could just set up there and solar nuclear and just power the entire United States. He's like, just pick a corner of Utah. He's like, there's nothing happening there. I've been through there.
Yeah, maybe.
You know,
I don't doubt it. It is weird. Our fear of that is so weird. Like, I mean, I suppose it comes from that energy being weaponized, but
a little bit. But you know, people.
But then the flip is like Japan, the only place that experienced that firsthand, and they're like, yeah, fucking build all the nuclear power plants you want here.
Not only that, but if you see a picture, I hate this meme. I love this because it's true. You see Detroit, Michigan, circa 1940.
Mm-hmm.
You see Hiroshima, 1940. And then you see Hiroshima now and Detroit now. Somebody needs to just scrape Detroit off the map and start over, because Hiroshima is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a magnificent city. It's a jewel now. Because it's like, well, cool, we can start over. Scraped it clean.
So, yeah.
Did I ever tell you the PlayStation 2, the PS2 story?
I don't think so.
Okay, so the moral of the story, I'll just tell you right out the gate, is when something's unfixable, just fucking break it and start over.
Okay.
Tristan had this PS2 that he'd returned 5, 6, 7 times to get things fixed. It still never worked right.
Right.
And he'd get frustrated, he'd get mad, he'd start cursing, swearing, ruin his whole day. I took it out back the old place where I used to live, where you first got out of the military.
Mm-hmm.
That back slab.
Yep.
Just took it outside and smashed it. He's like, what the fuck? I'm like, cool, now you can just go get a new one because you've already bought 3 of them. Fixing this
Putting
thing.
money into this, yeah. Yeah.
Now you've got an excuse just to go get a new one.
Right.
So that's the PS2 story.
Well, shall we get into the week of
history? Yeah, that's a handsome looking couple.
Well,
First on the flank, get it started, get fired at it,
all right. Well, this week in his history, February 10th, 1840, Queen Victoria marries Prince Albert and immediately stuffs him in a can. And if you get that joke, you're old.
Also famous for a piercing.
Yeah, well, February 11th, 1809, Robert Fulton patents the steamboat. Yeah.
Those are the official drawings in the Library of Congress.
That's right. Let's see, February 12th, 1709, Alexander Selkirk, the Scottish seaman whose adventures inspired the Robinson Crusoe novel, is rescued from Juan Fernandez Island after more than 4 years of living there alone.
This scene depicts him about to murder the motherfuckers who are...
Yeah, because he doesn't know what's going on. He's
rolling
probably
up on
lost his fucking mind at this point, being alone for that long. He didn't have Wilson.
Wilson!
Let's see. Did you...
You know, that movie kind of sucked because right at the end, like, he goes and hits on that chick. Dude, talk about some pressure. You're that guy from the news, and you brought me back my package. Oh my God, you totally want to bone me now, don't you? Like, God.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad for that woman. There's like,
is that a thing we can work out?
God. She's like, no pressure, thanks. Jeez.
Well, and okay, I just went to the same exact scene. And it is one of those, like, he was so in love with the other girl when he crashed.
Uh-huh.
But you can't, like, be mad. Exactly.
No, you can't.
It's like,
and you know
we
what?
thought you were dead. We had a funeral and the whole bit.
Funeral? You've been gone for years.
Yeah. And then they serve crab at the buffet. That always cracked me up.
That was the best.
He
he's like,
picks up a leg and he's like, I'm good.
I'm good. Yeah. That was the truest part of that movie, I think. Giving everything else a suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part. I'm like, yep, I would totally just not. It's like working at Domino's, dude. The last thing you want after 4 years of working there is a fucking pizza.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a friend who worked at Dairy Queen. And he liked ice cream from basically anywhere else.
But where he was at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like
Bluebell?
It's
cool.
disgusting.
Are we going to Dairy Schling? Nope.
All right. Well, spinning on
Wilson. One of the most iconic publicity stunts, sort of all time.
Yeah. Well, and so I couldn't find an image of the specific event here, but February 13th, 1949. So if I'm not mistaken, this was after it happened in the U.S. They broadcast War of the Worlds, the H.G. Wells book read by Orson Welles.
Yeah, because that was done in October the year
audio
before.
Play kind of thing. And he read it as a news report.
Yeah, because that's if you... Right.
So everyone thought that it was real. Well, anyways, so it was apparently rebroadcast in Ecuador, and they flipped out and like burned down a radio station.
Dude, people jumped out windows.
Yeah,
People
killed
killed themselves. They freaked out, bunkered up,
you know.
like. And you hear him about an hour into the broadcast. Once word got back to him, you hear it in the original broadcast of, "Ladies and gentlemen, this is Orson Welles. I just want to remind you that I am in character, and we are reading the very famous. Y'all should have fucking read this in grade school.
Yeah.
H.G. Wells novel of War of the Worlds."
Yeah.
You know what the best movie? Space Invaders.
Oh, dude, that's fun.
That movie is so badass. And this sort of takes. They're doing they're rebroadcasting the H.G. Wells thing as sort of a running theme, and when the real aliens like Martians show up, oh, so fucking funny.
Let's see. February 14th, 1929.
What happened here?
Well, a Chicago gang war between Al Capone and George Bugsy Moran culminates with several of Moran's men being gunned down in what later was known as the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Yep.
How many does it take to be a massacre?
Apparently at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Apparently 6. Bare minimum
massacre.
Let's see. February 15th, 1965. Canada's maple leaf flag is raised for the very first time. Before that, they had some kind of weird Union Jack. We're part of England.
Yeah, I remember that
going
thing.
on.
So, due to the trucking shortage in Canada, we apparently are having a shortage of ham. Canadian bacon.
Doesn't surprise me.
Why aren't there riots?
About no ham?
There's no ham and no Canadian bacon. I think once it hits maple syrup, we're gonna lose our minds.
Well, there's I guess truckers down here are talking about doing a similar thing, a convoy from LA to Washington and then surround Washington. Because it's, dude, that's so weird. If there's one group that is not at risk of spreading COVID to fucking anybody, it would be truckers, long haul truckers. They sit in a hermetically sealed box all day. It's not like they touch the stuff that.
Yeah.
They get out, take a shit and have a shower, and hop back in. You know, that's about it. So I don't know. It's pretty crazy. All right, finally,
this guy.
February 16th, 1937, DuPont patents a new thread, Nylon, which will replace silk in a number of products and obviously reduce costs because, you know, relying on a worm to make your thread isn't very cost efficient. And it also did away with the need for garters.
Fucking DuPont.
So
I miss the garters.
After that, garters became just a aesthetic choice, but they were not necessary. So that is the week in his history.
Why'd you have to end it on such a downer note?
Why is that a downer?
Because stockings are the best. The garter belts.
You can still do garters with nylons. You just don't have to because they stretch.
Because now they're stretch. That's funny. I love those old pictures The
old ads,
the cartoon style. Yeah, the drawings.
Like my favorite one is it's a beer ad. I don't even remember what brand of beer. It probably doesn't exist anymore. But it's a wife who clearly doesn't know how to cook, and she's burning everything in the kitchen. But she's handing the husband a beer, and it says something like, "Well, at least she didn't burn the beer." And the sentiment is almost like, "So, don't hit her." At least you got a cold beer, and
pretty sure that was Bass.
I don't remember.
We should find it. Hey Siri, show me pictures of spaghetti. Here's the Serengeti. That's what I wanted.
I can probably look it up. At least she didn't burn the beer.
Oh, it's coming up with stuff.
There it is. Schlitz.
It's Schlitz. There you go. It's Schlitz.
Don't worry, darling. You didn't burn the beer, so I won't punch you this time.
Right. This is just blatant domestic abuse. Wow. All right, boys and girls. So Valentine's Day is coming up. Yes, I assume there's only 2 genders. I didn't assume that. I said boys and girls. So something came up in a conversation I had the other day, and this guy's like, "Well, I'm gonna cook dinner and do the dishes that night." And I'm like, "You should be doing that like at least a couple times a week if you make it home first. What the fuck's wrong with you, dude?"
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, "Well, I don't want to cook." I'm like, "Well, I love cooking because then I get to eat what I want, how I want it made. I get to make it spicy." I'm like, "What is your problem?" "Oh, if you cook, you do dish." No, you made the mess, you clean it up. There's that, I cooked, you clean thing. I kind of make a mess when I cook, so I clean as I go.
Mm-hmm.
Right? No. Like, you should be, this is not a Valentine's gift, gentlemen. It is not.
And if you have kids, they should be doing the dishes. It's just my humble opinion.
I have no dog in this fight, so
that's how it works for the most part for us.
I would imagine, but that's not a Valentine's Day gift.
No,
that's like that's a few times a week kind of thing. Like, if you're gonna have a balanced lifestyle, a couple days a week is you, a couple days a week is your partner. Kids do it once in a while, so you can get breakfast for dinner because they can make pancakes. Make it a fun thing.
Yeah.
And, then there's the once a week, fuck it, I just want a pizza.
Yeah.
So it's kind of balances out. It isn't, that irked me. It rubbed me the wrong way. It's like, well, I'm going to do that for, it's like, you should be doing that a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely not a Valentine's Day gift. I'm happy because Carolyn was like, "Can we just do cards and split a box of chocolates?"
Yeah, there you go.
And I'm like, fuck yeah, sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I think there are times to be grandiose.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think in this climate this year, we all need to be grandiose. How about we make it simple, keep it real, and make it earnest. Just make it sweet. Be genuine.
Yeah.
With it. So, like that, split cards and split a box of chocolates. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Let's do that this year, folks, because maybe next year when we're a little bit better off and things are moving a little better, and there's some frivolity and jocularity that's going around. Maybe then we can be like, we can go grandiose. A helicopter ride through the mountains.
Oh, that sounds pretty rad.
Yeah, Bon Jovi thought so. Remember that joke?
No.
We can get Stevie Ray Vaughan in a helicopter. We can't get Bon Jovi.
Oh.
That guy was a dick. So yeah, guys, it's not. If your life situation has gotten to you to the point to where you cooking dinner once a year is a gift and a treat and a treasure for your spouse, yeah, she should trade up.
Well, and I would argue she's probably looking.
True.
So
yeah, that better
especially in the age of the internet.
Yeah, you're really screwing it up. You're really screwing it up.
If you think that girl don't have a Tinder profile,
you're out of your goddamn mind.
She's just looking for a dude that'll do dishes once a week.
She's she's definitely window shopping on eHarmony like right now.
So
thanks for watching and or listening to whichever streaming device or wherever you go poop.
Yeah.
Thank you to our sponsors, EXO AutoWorks, Enharmonic Studios, Crafts by Carolyn Lane, and The Beard Struggle.
I wanted to plug one thing. So our Making a Marriage Last is available on our locals page, but I also wanted to let you guys know, in addition to locals, where for $3 a month you get premium members only video content, we now have an audio subscription. Maybe $3 is too rich for your blood, on anchor.fm, a convoluted URL. You can find it on our links page, but it's only 99 cents a month. And that Making a Marriage Last is our first episode available there for the audio subscription. So
that one was pretty good.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. You're welcome. I saved your marriage. If you want to know how, you're going to need $3.
That's right.
Right. Or $1. So check us out on the web, mantoolsmedia.com. Our social media is at links.co/mantoolsmedia. And once again, like, subscribe, share, rate, review, all of the things. We also have a new little gadget. It's ratethispodcast.com/mantools.
That's right.
So you can go and rate thispodcast.com.
That's right.
/mantools.
That's correct. It gives you, I think, 4: iTunes, Spotify, and I think there's 2 others that have rating and reviews on them. So
yeah,
and it helps us out for you guys to give us some, a couple of stars and tell us that we're horrible, whatever.
Do you know why we're a 1-star podcast, Trevor? Because there's no such thing as a no-star podcast. Thank you all. Enjoy your holiday next Tuesday. We hope you get laid.
And do the dishes. Good night, everybody.